We live in a world that is just obsessed with being seen, right? It's all about the likes, the followers, the constant connection. But what if I told you the single most powerful move you could make was to just disappear?
Okay, let's really think about this for a second. It sounds completely backward, doesn't it? Everything we hear is about success through visibility. Build your brand, stay engaged. But what if that's only seeing half the picture? What if pulling back, a strategic absence, could actually be way more powerful than always being front and center?
Now, to be clear, this isn't about giving up or hiding from the world. Not at all. We are talking about a calculated, deliberate strategy. It's like hitting a giant reset button, not because you want to quit, but because you want to come back even stronger, to rebuild your entire empire from the shadows.
So what do we actually call this strategy? Well, the source material has a pretty cool name for it, the Ghost Protocol. Let's break down what that really means.
So here's the official definition. It's a strategic framework. And that's the key, right? This means it's a plan, it has steps, and it has a very clear goal. The words that jump out to me are deliberately removing oneself, this is something you choose to do, and powerful reemergence. The whole point of disappearing is to set up a much more impactful return.
I really want to double down on these words: deliberate, calculated. This is what separates this idea from, just taking a social media break because you're feeling burned out. This is a tactical move. Every single step is intentional, and it's all designed to create a very specific outcome when you decide to come back.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, how does somebody actually pull this off? Well, the protocol is broken down into two main phases of, erasure. This is the part where you go dark, where all the real evolution happens behind the scenes.
And you can see it's really two sides of the same coin. First up is the digital blackout. This is about methodically pulling yourself off of every online platform, basically erasing your virtual footprint. But that's only half the battle. The other crucial piece is the physical withdrawal. This means you're consciously stepping back from the social scene, from networking events, from any and all public appearances. You have to take yourself completely off the board, both online and in the real world.
All right, so you've put in the work. You've gone completely off-grid. You've disappeared. What was the whole point of all that effort? Well, it is all about the comeback. The real payoff here isn't just returning, it's about reemerging completely transformed with a noticeably higher status.
Just think for a moment about why someone would even need to do this. This before state? It's often a case of simple overexposure. You've become predictable. People know what you're going to say, what you're going to do. Your brand feels stuck. Maybe you're defined by old mistakes or even old successes you just can't seem to move past. You're just too accessible, which, believe it or not, can actually lower how people value you.
And this is the after. This is the transformation. By disappearing, you've essentially created a vacuum. All those old ideas people had about you start to fade away. Your renewed focus, which you built entirely in private, lets you come back with a totally rebuilt identity. You're not predictable anymore. Now, you're mysterious. You're not just accessible, you're intriguing. The bottom line is, you have engineered a situation where you return with elevated status.
And that right there is the end game, to become a stranger. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in the sense that people no longer have you figured out. The old you is gone. They have to completely relearn who you are, and this time, you are in 100% control of that new story.
So let's bring this all home. When you boil it all down, what's the fundamental power behind the Ghost Protocol? It's the incredible leverage you get from being unknown all over again. And really, it all comes down to this simple, powerful idea, which just perfectly captures the whole process, the private work, and then the public reveal. Evolve in the dark, reemerge a stranger. And that really leaves us with one final thought to chew on. We're told constantly, every single day, to put ourselves out there. But this strategy, it offers a totally different path. It forces you to ask, in a world that is screaming for your constant attention, for your visibility, what incredible new version of yourself, what new empire could you truly build in the quiet, in the shadows?